Hello and welcome to Bear Care Corner, your weekly update on everything animal care related here at Happily Ever After Farm Sanctuary. I'm just starting in the garden because I wanted to show everybody already. We have a lot of things coming up. There's some lettuce there, everything that we need for the rabbits we'll be getting from the garden from going forward, so that's really exciting. And we're having another extremely hot day. We're having 2 days in a row, and then the heat will break up tomorrow, I think with a thunderstorm. But it's getting past 30 degrees Celsius right now, so our focus is keeping all the residents cool, making sure they have water, getting the fans on in the barn. So we'll go in and check in on everybody, and I'll give you some resident care updates. On days like today, when it's really hot and there's high UV, we put sunscreen on the pink pigs. So that's Dan and Sammy, especially behind their ears. We'll go see Dan in a minute. I'm just going up to check on Pouty and Denver. Our vet was here. She comes once a month for a standing appointment and sees a lot of our residents. If we need her out between then, she does come out, but we do a monthly visit to check in on residents and any new health concerns or check on old ones. And Denver was on the list to have his hooves done. He is too big to fit in the chute. So we were planning to sedate him and trim his hooves, of course. And he's done this before. He decided he did not want to be sedated. He was given the maximum amount of sedation and really fought it. So he did not go down. He was standing, so we couldn't do his hooves. He's been rescheduled for this coming weekend, so we'll do him then and see if the sedation works this time. It's happened before where he did the same thing, and then when the vet came back the week after, it did work. Hi, buddy. So he's a little bit overdue for a hoof trim, so we're hoping to do that this weekend. And he is too large to fit in our current cow chute where we do Pouty. We did Pouty's hooves the week before. He's getting almost too big to fit in the chute himself. He's getting a little bit chubby, so we're actually planning to probably put him on a diet for a bit to get his weight down. The vet was a little bit concerned about his weight, and that could lead to heart issues, so we're going to get him on a diet so he's able to fit in the chute and just be healthier. It was a little bit of a tight squeeze when we did him last week, so we were able to do a few of his hooves, but we don't want to keep him in there too long. So that's kind of a cow update all in one. So as I'm making my way around to the different barns and through the different pastures, nobody's really outside right now. Everybody's inside their barns staying cool. The bogs are filled for the pigs, so that's how they cool off. We can go see if anybody's in a bog right now, but it is close to midday, which is the hottest time of the day, so I don't think anybody's going to be out right now. I'm in the pig area, and I see Oksana in the bog. So there aren't many pigs out. They're all inside, staying away from the sun. Oh, as soon as I said that, look who I found. Hi. Hi. I found Ray. Came out of nowhere. What are you doing, bud? He's tired. He needs to have a nap. He's so cute. You can see he's losing a lot of his coat. It's a mix of kind of a seasonal coat blow, but also could be a little bit of a vitamin E deficiency, our vet's thinking, so we need to be adding vitamin E to their feed. There is vitamin E in the feed, but there might be an issue with it being milled in a large quantity, and then when it sits on the shelves before it's being used, some of that might be depleted. So it's just laying down on my foot. This is Ray. You've probably seen him a million times if you've seen my videos before. He loves belly rubs. As soon as he hears a caregiver out here talking, he comes running over. He's a good pig. In terms of Ray, I don't have any health updates. He's healthy other than his little bit strange hair condition. He's not the only one like that. There's a few you might see in pictures, or if I walk by them, they have hair loss on their backs, so that might be related, because a seasonal coat blow, they kind of blow the coat all evenly. It's not in patches, so adorable. And if you can't tell, Ray has the best voice. He kind of like honks like a goose, which I really appreciate. He's got pig stuff to do. So I'm up at the goat barn. First thing in the morning, when caregiver Dee checked in, she suggested that any sheep we had left with some wool on them, that we take at least part of the wool off to give them some relief from the heat. We're having 2 really hot days back to back, but then it goes down in temperature again. But for today, we had Obama and Sean still had full wool coverage. This May, for the most part, was cooler, so we haven't finished shearing yet. We haven't needed to, but for our Shetland sheep, they're usually the last ones to shear because they're the least affected by the heat. Back here looking a little scrappy. We did the kind of their backs to get most of that heavy wool off, and we'll do the rest of them on a different day, but we did that first thing in the morning. They had kind of like a lion cut. Obama looks like he has a mane right now. It's very cute. And these guys just came from inside. They've been kind of staying in the barn right now. We sheared Abraham first. Oh, there's Angelo just hanging out, because he's a big boy and he's the most affected by the heat. You can even see he's kind of heavy breathing right now. The fan is going on in their barn. He only came out because he's being nosy, and he just walked into me because he wants to get pets. He came out because he heard me and he's being nosy, but he'll go back in the barn to cool off. It's quite cool in there. The clouds look really nice. When our vet was here, she also implanted some of our birds. I'm not going to go in with the birds right now because of the quarantine procedures, avian influenza. We're still concerned about. We're still doing the full isolation procedures going in and out of those spaces, so I'm not going to go in. But she implanted Mary and Sunny a hormonal implant to stop them from laying, because they've been laying a lot, and if somebody's laying a lot, it becomes could become a health concern. And so we implanted them prophylactically. Sometimes we'll implant a hen because they've shown reproductive disease. They've shown signs of it. But we have found in a lot of cases, the hens who are bred to lay more eggs than is natural, reproductive disease is really common. So we're just doing everybody, so nobody should be laying now. And sometimes the implants don't work. They wear off or something. So a few of the hens that they wore off of, they were redone. So that's who else was seen on Sunday. And she also saw Dan, so let's go find him. You can hear Dan getting some sunscreen on him. I had to make a pit stop. This is Phoenix. Caregiver D just did his hooves. They look amazing. And this is Ray's best friend. This is his brother. And they're always together, except right now, because I think Ray came outside to see me. I finally made it over to see Dan. He just had his sunscreen applied, even though he's inside. If he goes out later, that should help him. He's been getting a lot of sun behind the ears. With these guys, it's really tricky, and we try to do as much sunscreen applications as possible. But he started to develop kind of these like black scabs, which we were concerned about. So our vet did see him on the weekend when she was here to check. She was thinking maybe there might need to be a biopsy to make sure there was no skin cancer, but she did confirm that it wasn't skin cancer, which was great. So he doesn't have skin cancer there, but we're still just keeping a close eye. Behind the ears is a really tough spot. It just kind of picks up the sun, and we do the rest of him. He's quite hairy right now, so that kind of protects him against the sun, but there's certain areas where he gets a little bit pink. So that's Dan. He always has naps with different pigs. So today he's chosen this group, but I feel like every time I see him, he's with a different pig. Like he likes to spread the love. Okay, last stop. I'm sitting in the main barn. It is too hot outside. And I was walking by and remembered that Gladys and Moose are in the barn. Looking really cute. Gladys had been kind of consistently losing weight. We weigh these guys all the time, and her weight was going down kind of for no reason. We weren't trying to get her to lose weight, even though she could have lost a few pounds and been a little bit more comfortable, but we didn't really know why. So our vet did blood work, and just some odd numbers showed up in terms of certain things that weren't really explainable, if that's a word. So she decided that Gladys should be off pasture for a few weeks. I think we're doing 4 weeks to try to normalize those levels. I forget what it is off the top of my head. I'll have to look at her file. So she's off pasture, eating only hay right now to try to kind of figure out what's going on with her. If that doesn't really show any change, then they have recommended a liver biopsy. So that would be the next step. But otherwise, she's doing pretty well. She has pretty severe arthritis, but it's being managed through pain meds. So she's on the fentanyl patch, which is on her neck. That's the bandage you see, and a few other pain medications. So she's pretty stiff. She's quite old. She's doing well, and her and Moose are just hanging out here. Moose is a friend for her. He's down here to keep her company during her stall rest. On nice days, he's out grazing, but not for too long because she gets a little bit upset when he leaves. So it's Moose and Gladys. So thank you everyone for tuning in. You can catch Bear Care Corner. Right now I'm doing Tuesdays at noon for all of your resident care updates. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I answer your questions once in a while in my videos. And I will see everybody again next time.